Hi, Mario. Hi, Mario.
Morning.
Good morning. I'm Walter.
Morning, guys.
Should I put a mask on my computer?
I
You
think
should,
so.
you should. It's a good idea.
What a mess. What
A mess, you're right. Yeah.
I wonder if we should go to shul tomorrow or not.
Well, it's a little nervous time. There's a kiddish there.
Who's the bar mitzvah tomorrow?
Bar
Pini
mitzvah,
Rosenbaum.
Yeah. Not his son.
Yeah. If you want to be technical.
Yes. Morning, Alan.
Morning, good morning. Finally gonna have a shear today, huh?
Hope.
Well, let's see.
Don't count on it. If he's
What's
got,
this
if he had them,
about,
if what? I'm having a croissant for
What are you
breakfast,
eating?
Mario. You want some? A croissant with cafe.
Okay.
It's a very good croissant, Mensch. They make fantastic croissants.
From
As
who?
long as you paid the kashrut supervision, that's the most important thing.
Elazar, I can just tell you one thing. Everything costs so much these days. It doesn't
I
even
know.
pay for it. Doesn't even
No,
pay for it.
only thing is, it's an insult that you should charge more for it. That's the whole thing. It's an
Morning,
insult to pay for kashrut
Yeah.
fee. That's
Hi,
the thing.
Ernie. So,
Hey,
Hi, man.
Ernie, how you feeling?
For Shleima.
I have that little hacking cough. I had that infusion of monoclonal antibodies. So
Yeah.
Svortimab or something. They're the one that works right for Omicron. The Regeneron doesn't work for this.
Oh,
You need that. It's called Sovramab. Sovramab. So, yeah, I was symptomatic a little bit Wednesday, and I stayed home yesterday. I tested yesterday. So
where's Susie?
Susie's here. Remember, Susie had this 2 weeks ago.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but you get the antibodies for it anyway. It's a different antibody, by the way.
I said it's called Sovramab. It's a monoclonal antibody against Omicron.
Yeah.
But it's in short supply. My hospital gave it to me in Downey. That's why I was listening to the last night's shear while I was getting the infusion. It's a 30-minute infusion. But you have to be monitored
Okay.
because it can cause an allergic reaction. So you have to be monitored when you get it.
How's your mother doing?
My mother's in the hospital. She actually has COVID pneummonia. She's
That's
getting treatment. I don't know whether hopefully she'll respond, but
Yeah.
she's doing okay. Her oxygen's okay for right now, but she did not want to, hopefully she'll get better.
Well, Ernie, what were your symptoms?
I had a little sore throat. That got better. Then yesterday, just a little hacking cough, just an occasional, and I was a little fatigued. That's all. I mean, I could tell I felt different than normal.
Yeah.
I was not sneezing.
Yeah.
You can hear today I'm a little hoarse. So it's all upper respiratory.
Yeah. And I got.
Go ahead.
No, I was, I told you on Sunday I didn't feel well. I had fatigue. I've had bad headaches the whole week. Like when I had with the COVID, I had terrible headaches.
So
I
did you get
didn't have-
tested?
Are you kidding me? No. No.
There is a test called the BINAX, BINAX. That's the
Yeah.
most reliable home test.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've used.
Very
yeah,
easy to read.
yeah, but you know what? So what is, it is what it is. What can I tell you? I probably got it from Ernie on Sunday, but it's okay.
I think we may, when we treated Gerard.
Yeah, well, that's what I
Yeah,
said.
that's the
But then
initial, yeah.
I was standing right next to you afterwards. So I landed up on Sunday, already feeling sick on Sunday. I had a bad headache, terrible headache on Monday. I didn't have any respiratory. When I had COVID originally,
You didn't test.
what? I
Did you
just took
test?
Tylenol.
You didn't test.
No. So I gave it to everybody else. It's
But the
okay.
reason to test is to get this infusion. Infusion decreases the severity.
I don't
It's
have
so
any
hard to get.
respiratory stuff. I don't have anything.
Right.
Ernie, you can get it. I don't have. I didn't have. I'm just having bad headache. I felt very lightheaded. I felt very fatigued, and I'm still till even this morning. I woke up a little bit, but you know what? It's fine.
Okay. Based on your age alone, it's probably indicated.
Walter, that's the symptoms I had the day after I got married, so don't worry.
As long as you did, as long as you didn't have it for the rest of the time
No,
that you're
No,
married,
it's just that
and things
I
got
was-
better, Harold. It's okay.
I was
Okay,
very
let's,
fatigued, very
We've got a
fatigued.
lot to catch up, and I can't spend the whole morning. So
Right.
let's go.
Tomorrow,
So where are we?
we're
Zion?
on Zion.
Okay, wow, okay.
But we'll do Zion a little bit of test today. Tomorrow we'll learn at 8. We'll do the Navi at 7, and the Daf at 8. And we'll try to catch up. Rabbi Yehuda is Ilan Kedarko. You can hunt the rats and the moles in the regular way. We'll see what that is. Lavan Shelo Kedarko, and Ilan is a tree orchard. And Lavan is like a wheat field. You dig a ditch, and you put traps there. And the animal will go into the ditch and get trapped by the trap. So that, for a tree orchard, you're allowed to do that. It's kedarko. Ketzat shelo kedarko. No, it's shpud. You knock like a stick in the ground. Umake bekurdim. Umar de adoma mitachteha. And you dig until you basically find the animal and you kill it. That's shelo kedarko. Tanya Reb Shmuel also oimer. Kishamrim is delavan shelo kedarko. When they said that a wheat field you should hunt the animal shelo kedarko, lo amu elibis delavan asmuch le'ir. That's a field that's close to the city. Because then there's damage only to the field. But if the wheat field is next to a tree orchard, afilu kedarko, then you can hunt it even with a trap. Because in your attempt, shelo kedarko, to find the animal, it's going to come out of the ground, go to your neighbor's field, and destroy his tree orchard. So that you're not allowed to do. We said you can fix fence on Cholamoid. Ketzad Mekarin. Rav Yosef Omer Behutza v'Dafna. You can't use bricks and mortar. You have to use like palm tree. It has to be like a temporary fix. You put stones there, but not cement. That's a garden wall, which doesn't have a lot of hefsid if it has a hole in it. But if you have a wall around your courtyard, so bona kedarko, so you can build like a regular building to fix it. Lema Messiah lay. Let us say that the following statement is support of that. You have a wall that's threatening to fall into the Rishus Harabim. Soiser uboine kedarko v'nesakana. you can destroy it and build it anew because of the danger to the public. So the Gemara says, Hasam, there's no raya from there. Because Hasam can iktani time it, there's sakana. There was a sakana. But if there's no sakana, you're not allowed to do it. The Ikidiyami, other people say that it was actually learned to upschlag the first approach. Toshma, a wall that's tipping over into the public, you're allowed to destroy and build. But if it was not danger, no. This will be a kash on Rav Chisda. There, by sakana, you're allowed to actually destroy and build. Here, by a courtyard, you're allowed to build without destroying. So how come by the public, you should just destroy, because then you'll have no incentive to destroy. And then it'll be dangerous for the community. So they have to give you the right to rebuild, then you'll destroy it. During Shemitah, you're allowed to build a regular wall in a regular way. Now, what are we talking about in Shemitah? Are we talking about Shemitah? There's no prohibition about building. There's prohibition of working the ground. So why would you have to tell me that B'Shvi is Boine Kedarko, Elalav the Gina? Because we're talking about a wall that's surrounding a vegetable garden. And even though allowing you to do it on Shemitah looks to the outside world that you're doing an act, which is a shmira for fruit or other payros, it's still permitted. Shmami, no, it's a good raya. Mishnah. But Meir Oin.
Does a flower apply to Shemitah too? If you want to grow flowers, that's not for Achila? Let's say you're in the business of cultivating flowers to sell. Does that apply by Shemitah? It's nothing to do with Achila.
Right. Well, I'm saying, okay.
Okay.
It has to do with avoidus adama.
So you'd be permitted then to use to grow flowers on Shvius.
No, why? Why?
Because it's not for Achila.
I never said it doesn't say anything about Achila.
Oh.
Why? I don't think it's dafka achila. If your business is flowers, I don't think you're allowed to do it either. But I'd have to look up the halacha regarding that. Remeir Oimer. Roinas on the goem betchil lahakel. Somebody who has a tsaras, but we don't know it's a tsaras. He has to show it to a kohen. So you're allowed to chol hamoed, but for an initial viewing, he's allowed to look at it as chol hamoed, but only if it's going to lead to a kula. Avalola hachmir, meaning if he sees that it's a tamei diket tsaras, he's not allowed to call it tamei. He should be quiet. We'll see whether a kohen is allowed to do that. But Rav Meir says he is. A tumah is only going to be chal on a person once a kohen, the ferush, says that it's tamei. We don't want to cause tsar for a person during chol hamoed because it's yontif. So Rav Meir says you're allowed. The kohen can look at it, but he has to only say tohor if it's tohor. If it's tamei, he should be quiet. Chachamim say don't look at the goyim at all. Wait until after chol hamoed. We'll see, because the Chachamim hold that a kohen has to say what it is. He can't decide whether to, be quiet. Bryce says the same thing. Rabbi Yosi Oimer, lo lahakav lo lahachmer. That's the sheet of the Chachamim. He can't look at it at all. You can't have it only one way. that the Kohen is going to only purify it. If he sees that it's tummy, he has to call it tummy. Omer Rebbe, near and Reb Meir b'muzger. Muzger is where the Kohen commands to quarantine the person for a week, and then he's going to check it again. So Reb Meir says that the Shita in the Mishnah, where the Kohen is allowed to look at it and only say lahakel, it's one or the other thing. If it's tohor, the person's going to be happy, and if he says, "Well, we have to keep you quarantined," well, that's no, it's not a change from the previous status. Now, if the Kohen already established that this person is a mitzorah, and he's coming to check to see whether now it's tohor, well, the problem is once a Kohen says, okay, the nega looks like it's tohor, but you have to count now 7 days, and that's going to be painful for him. So therefore, Rebbe says, if a person is b'muchlat, we follow Rabbi Yossi where he doesn't check it at all. Amar Rava, b'tohor, if the nega is tohor, kulam lo pliga d'lo chazulei. There's no machlokas. The Kohen doesn't have to look at it. It's possible that he might matame it, and we don't want to put him in a bad situation. The Hezger Rishon, when he's in the first week of quarantine, where if he says it's tar, it's good, and if he says it's, even if he says it's tameh, the only thing you do is put him in a quarantine for another week. There, kolav lo pliga the chazalei. There's no machlokas. Everyone holds that the Kohen can look at it. He pliga be'hezger sheni. In the second quarantine period, because if he says it's tameh, so now it's muchlat for a tumah chamura, and he's going to be upset. That's one approach. Mar Savar, or Meir holds, b'koyen talya milsa. It's up to the kohen. E tohor amalei tohor. He has the right to be silent. And therefore, if he sees that it's tar, he can call it tar. If he finds it's tummy, he can just be silent. Now, Umar Savar, Rabbi Yossi holds that the Kohen doesn't have the right to do that. L'taro olutamoksiv. The Kohen cannot just be quiet. He has to, if it's tar, it's tar. If it's tummy, it's tummy. Amar Mar. Amar Rabbi Nir and Rabbi Yossi b'muchla v'de Rabbi b'muzger. Aiva Tanya Ipcha. We've seen the reverse. Tanoy yali b'derebi. Marsav etzafta the ama adifle. Being in the community with other people is more important for the person. And if the Kohen makes him tameh, he has to be outside of the three machanois. And if he's mitarit, he gets to be with people. So that's why he's allowed to look at the neg and cholamoid. Umar savrit safsa the ishto adifalei. You're not allowed to have relations during a certain stage of the tsaras with your wife. And if he's a mitzvah muchlet, he's allowed to have relations with his wife. But if he's in the 7-day count, when the Kohen looked at it after the Hezger period, and he says it's tar, now the Kohen has to count 7 days. And during those days, he's also to have relations with his wife. And that's more tsar for him than tsar of being away from people. That shita relies on the halacha that during the period of tsaras muchlat, you're permitted to have relations. The Gemara says in. That's correct, Vatanya. V'yashav michutz la'ohalo shivat yamim. During the 7-day count, you have to stay away from your tent. Now, who's your tent? Your tent's your wife. Because it said about Moshe, Shuvu lachem lo aleichem. The din is she also b'tashmish shamita. Vein olo ela ishto shenemar leichem or lahem. Shuvu lachem lo aleichem. After Matan Torah, Moshe was told, go tell the people, go back to their tents, which meant go back to your wives. You're now permitted to tashmish. But then it says, V'ata po amod imadi. Moshe Rabbeinu now was given a command by Hashem that you have to separate from your wife. You have to be available at any moment to receive nevuah from me. Rabbi Ramer Shivas Yamim Yisperulo. Yimei Sfira v'lo yimei chiluto. It's only the day he's counting for 7 days that he's usher, but not during the muchlit period. Rabbi Yezer Rabbi Ramer Shiva Yimei Sfiro. Kavachomer lo mechiluto. Just the opposite. If you're usher during the 7 days of Sfira, certainly you're going to be usher during the muchlit period. I learned this in front of Rabbi Yosam. The king Yosam was born to the king Uziyahu during the Chaluta process, which means they were allowed to have relations. I learned the same thing. What's the fundamental machlokas? Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yosef, Gali Rachman v'Meisfir, Koshke v'Mechiluto. The Torah just showed you the din in the 7 day count, not during the Cholud period. Umar Savar, but we learn it out as the Kavachomer. Umar Savar, no. Rebbe holds my de gali, my de loy gali. That which the Torah said, where it says Shivas Yamim Yispru Lo, during the Yemei Sfira, fine. What it didn't tell you, you can't learn a Kavachomer. The Halach and the Rambam, Amitzora Mutar B'Tash V'Shamita. It's only during the count that it's Asr. Okay, so the first machlokas that we had between Rav Meir was whether or not the Kohen has the right to be quiet if he doesn't want to say that it's Tomei. L'meimer, the Kohen tell you, Milsa? The Gemara says in, yeah, Vatanya. Uviyom heira osbo, the day he looks at the nega, implies yesh yom she'ata ro'abo, yesh yom she'ata ro'abo. There are days that he looks at it, there are days he doesn't look at it. Ikanamru. Chosun shalom, you have a chosun who's about to go into the chuppah. He has a nega. Noisin lo shiva yemei mishta. The Kohen stays away from inspecting it for 7 days during the 7 yemei mishta. Lo lebeiso l'ksuso. For him, for his family, for his friends. V'chein beregel. The same din applies during Yontif. Noisin lo shiva yemei regel de Rabbi Yehuda. You give him the 7 days of Yontif. You don't upset the person during Chol Moed. Rabbi Yomi Tzarech, you don't need this limud. Harei Oimer v'tziva hakohen ufinus abayis. We learn it from Tzaras Abayis. What happens? There's a nega in the house. So before the Kohen shows up to inspect it, there's a din that the Kohen gives a command, and you remove all the furniture from the house. Because if the furniture stayed in the house, and he came and metamed it, all the furniture becomes tummy. So we give you time to remove things in the house. Now, imamtini lo l'dvar reshus, if you give him time, and taking out furniture from your house is just a personal thing. Kol sheken l'dvar mitzvah. Certainly, if you're a chosin and you're doing mitzvahs of marriage or yontif, which are mitzvahs, you certainly would be mamtin. The Kohen can wait a period of time. My binai, what's the nafkamina between the Tanakama of Yehuda and Rabbi? Amar Abaye, mashmos dorsh nikvin. Very simply, he holds. Has to do. What's the makor? What is there a drasha? Is it psukim? But not the real halachic difference. But Rava Amar, no, dvar rishusik ibina. That there would be a nafkamina by a dvar rishus. Rav Yehuda says only by a dvar mitzvah would you wait, would the Kohen wait, and not in anything else. When a Rebbe, even a dvar rishus. Rav Yehuda mehosam lo gamrin, and the chidushu. Rav Yehuda learns. Listen, Saras, we're now on Ches Amud Aleph, Mario. Ches Amud Aleph.